Hello viewers, this is Melon speaking. We experienced a technical issues with Maris's mic in the first 18 minutes of this episode. We have tried our best to still give you the best outcome. Sorry for the inconvenience. Hope you can still enjoy the podcast. Thank you.
Yes,
a lot of blues and black in my face, you know.
You don't see it.
Nothing abusive
No,
that is
it's
happening.
your face.
Di saat gue mulai mendengar suara orang lain di dalam kepala gue, dan ketika gue harus berhadapan sama orang itu, dan gue merasa my energy just feels like, you know what I mean? It's like,
gue gak pernah ngira ya gue akan ada di posisi itu karena I'm such a strong woman gitu.
And obviously my first reaction was still like, what the hell?
you know what? I think he was gaslighted by her.
And then he
he's
gaslighted me.
exactly.
Oh my God.
It's a gaslightception.
It gets better. Hello viewers, welcome back to In Her View, a special and safe space for women to share and talk about anything and everything from love, relationships, family, to work culture. And this episode is no different. It's interesting and I feel like very relatable to most of us women.
Yes.
But before we dive into it, I'm of course joined by my girl gang here. We've got Caroline.
What's up, what's
We've got
up?
Kai.
Hello.
We've got Chanel.
Yay!
And last but definitely not least, we've got Marissa.
Hello.
Shalom, Marissa. Oh, it's so nice to be back here with you girls. So, ladies, today we'll be talking about toxic relationships. Woo. Yes, woo indeed. But before we dive deep into it, you know, toxic relationships can be felt between romantic partners, friendships, family. But I'd like to hear what you guys think, what your definition is of a toxic relationship. What's your benchmark for when a relationship gets toxic? Marissa?
Wah. Langsung kan.
Where do I start?
Fill in the blanks.
Iya, maksudnya di dalam hidupku selama beberapa dekade.
Dua dekade.
Ya, makasih.
Iya, aku emang pernah lihat sih toxic relationship dalam hubungan keluarga ya, yang paling dekat. Indikatornya menurutku Kevin adalah ketika kita mulai merasa bahwa kita tuh nggak sayang sama diri sendiri, mulai kayak mungkin emang gue ya yang salah, mungkin emang gue yang buruk ya, dan gue pernah ngalamin. Dan pada saat itu gue merasa wah, ini udah gak beres sih. And that's why I sought help. Langsung pergi ke psikolog. Karena pada saat itu ketika aku ngomong ke psikologku, oh iya kamu hari ini mau bahas apa Marissa? Aku bilang, aku mau ngebahas tentang mencintai diri, self-love. Kenapa? Karena aku semakin kesini aku ngerasa aku makin gak cinta ya sama diriku sendiri. Ya, tapi kan adalah orang yang tidak mencintai dirinya sendiri itu. Jadi paling ujungnya adalah bullying. Dan I don't want that. So ketika kita udah mulai merasa bahwa aku gue gak sayang diri, gue nyalahin diri gue sendiri, semuanya tuh salah gue, emang gue buruk, itu adalah indikator toxic relationship.
That's quite a benchmark there, Marissa. And I agree. I think once you start sacrificing your self-worth, your inner peace, that's when it starts to be toxic. What about for you, Shanaz?
Second that, karena menurut gue cinta yang healthy itu biasanya yang membawa kita lebih dekat mencintai diri kita ya.
Yeah.
Jadi ya udah berseberangan dengan itu, toxic relationship means cinta atau apapun itu yang lo sebut ya, relasi gitu yang bikin lo makin jauh dari mencintai diri lo sendiri dan bikin lo makin mempertanyakan gitu keberadaan lo di sini tuh apa sih sebenarnya, ngapain sih gue gitu, dan apa ya, ya cinta kan biasanya membuat orang growing into a better version of themselves gitu ya. Tapi toxic relationship biasanya tuh membuat kita mengubah diri, menjadi yang dia mau misalnya gitu. In any kind of relationships, baik itu bersama dengan keluarga gitu ya, ataupun dengan suami, dengan pasangan, biasanya adalah mengubah esensi dan jati diri dan value di dalam diri kita gitu. Jadi kalau makin jauh, ya udah indikatornya itu.
That's true. I feel like regardless of romantic relationships, friendships, or family, I think the common thread here is how it affects us. And if we're, declining our self-worth, then that's when it becomes toxic. Kai, what do you think?
Well, yes to everything that's been said before. Tapi kayaknya buat gue, kalau pengalaman gue tuh, the moment I realize the voice in my head is no longer mine, that's the moment I realize, wait, there's something wrong, right? Because when it's so easy to say ketika kita menyadari bahwa kita tidak sayang sama diri kita sendiri. Tapi kalau kita di dalam situasi itu susah banget loh untuk sadarnya gitu.
Right.
So
Agree.
When I realized that, hang on, what made me realize at the time when I was in one gitu kan, whether it was at the time it just so happens to be it was a romantic partnership gitu kan, romantic relationship, itu gue sadar bahwa suara yang ada di kepala gue tuh udah bukan suara gue sendiri. You know, it's another person questioning what I'm doing.
Yeah.
What I usually never questioned before gitu kan. Di saat gue mulai mendengar suara orang lain di dalam kepala gue, dan ketika gue harus berhadapan sama orang itu, dan gue merasa my energy just feels like, you know what I mean? I was like, oh my God, what's gonna happen, right? Like, what's gonna happen right now? Like, it can go to a point where lo langsung keringet dingin. Kalau lo denger ping HP aja, itu lo bisa keringet dingin.
Gosh.
Karena lo tahu itu dari dia, ya kan?
Yep.
It can get to that point. So that's when I knew this is not right. This is not healthy. Definitely not right.
Iya sih, tapi adding to what you said, kayaknya nggak cuman lo dengerin thoughts-nya orang di dalam kepala lo, tapi juga ketika pemikiran lo diambil sama tuh orang. Menurut gue kayak gue tuh sangat menghargai individual thoughts ya, tapi giliran misalnya nih, di dalam pengalaman gue pernah merasa my thoughts, kayak my train of thoughts nih, gue kan udah pernah ngasih tahu gitu ya ke dia gitu. Kemudian nanti dia memakai itu untuk diskusi bersama dengan orang lain. Dan menurut gue itu kayak, itu toxic dong, lo kan ngambil itu dari gue. That's my thoughts. Dude.
And that person's like, sharing is caring, baby.
Don't steal Shanaz's.
No, that's fine.
It's all about
That's
about
false.
it's all about take
Yeah.
gitu kan. It's all about when you feel like I have to give.
You can give
Yeah.
only
You
so much.
You don't feel like you don't get anything in
Yeah.
return whatsoever gitu, on a physical, emotional
Really good
level.
point.
I mean, if it was in his case, I think that person could like share, like, well, this is Shana's thought, and I agree with her, right? Giving that indication that is your brains and whatnot.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
Carol? Saving the
First,
best
I'm
for
going to
last.
give you a disclaimer because, in a previous episode, we did talk about beauty standards.
Yes.
I just done my beauty procedure, so I got
Yes,
a lot of blues and black in my face.
You don't see it.
Nothing
don't see it.
abusive
No,
that is
you see your
happening in my
face.
You look
life.
beautiful as always.
I was actually like, no, I got
Makeup, baby, it helps.
because this is the topic is toxic relationship. I was sort of like, were you like bruised and battered last night? Or
I
something?
did 50 shots in my face
By
by my dermatologist.
Only by needles.
I know, but it will glow within 2 weeks. So hang in there, baby. Anyways, yes. Talking about toxic relationship. I think I have the similar situation with Marissa before. I have, went through toxic family or toxic relationship with my family, with my friends, and also in a relationship with a significant other before. And so with my family, I've known firsthand about, this toxic relationship since we were young, right? But with family, it's a family matter. You cannot detach yourself with them, whether that's, especially with your parents, right?
Yeah.
Whether you were born here in Indonesia, in the Asian region, or even the Western, in the Western part, we still have to love our parents with how they are. All the pluses and minuses and whatnot, right? But at that time when you were young, you can't understand why this is happening to me. Why am I becoming the parent to you both? Right. You're supposed to be the parent, but I'm like seeing all of this happening in front of my face, in front of our face. Yeah. We're in that age where there are some problems that we should not know yet, but we know about it, right? So we kind of grow older. By the way, Exactly. Toxic audio. Just keep it real. We got toxic audio everywhere here. But I think in a way, if I see it, I become quite independent and have a strong mindset is because we went through.
Right.
Because of this toxic relationship within our family hold, right? And then when you grow older and then you find toxic relationship with friends, I think that hurts.
Oh yeah.
That
That's the
hurts the
worst.
most, especially
that
between
is
girlfriends.
painful.
I mean, there's a lot, and especially coming here, I think it's the norm, I suppose, where like in front of your face they're quite nice, but behind you they'll talk about your flaws.
That's everywhere in the world.
Right, but usually, I mean,
More so
again,
here.
I grew up there, and I mean,
Yeah.
if they don't like you,
They
they'll
tell you to your
they'll tell
face.
you like, I
Yeah.
don't think
Have
like
a
we can be
problem.
friends,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then we'll be cordial if there's like parties that we have to attend to or any events.
Yeah.
But here, they're like so nice to you in front of you. And then they'll talk to you behind your back. And then when you encounter them, like directly, do you have a beef with me? Do you have a problem with me? They're like, no. I'm like, what are you talking about? Right?
And then you're the toxic one because you're direct.
That makes me feel like, because they always gang up. Right? It's never that one-to-one person. It's always like this one group of girls. One doesn't like you. The
Yeah.
other girls cannot
default,
like you
yeah,
also.
can't
You
like
cannot be friends with them also,
Terus
right?
suami-suaminya ngikut juga pasangan-pasangannya.
That's
kan?
even worse.
Iya.
Like, come on, dudes, right?
Not even getting there yet.
And I think that happens in every generation. I mean, like even I'm
no,
like
for
right
sure.
now, 4 decades. I mean, I still
Thank you
kind
for the
I
reveal.
know. I still feel there are some like these kind of toxic friendship that is happening, right? And I detached myself from them because I felt like we're definitely not in the same level of mentality, of maturity.
Yeah.
Tapi ya nggak apa-apa juga, Kay.
Yeah.
Berarti kamu menyadari bahwa
Yes.
itu toxic.
Yes.
Dan kamu akhirnya melepaskan diri dari lingkungan itu. Dan
But that's
itu
the thing,
sehat.
though, Mar. With like friends, we can detach ourselves.
Iya.
But
Sama
when it's
keluarga,
with
Family is
family,
harder.
yeah, it's intangible. Like we will always
Can't
have the
choose your
relationship.
family.
But when you have a relationship with a boyfriend or a husband, that's worse, I think.
Oh yeah.
By
You can always kill
meaning-
him.
What?
You can always kill him.
I mean, like, yeah,
Don't listen to Shana for this one, okay?
there are stairs, and I'm like, oops.
you can burn his picture on voodoo for like
Yes.
No, but really, like with husbands or like I had went through a toxic relationship with someone before, and he was the one that's having an affair, but always running back to him. Because he's always gaslighting me, saying that there's no one better than me. I'm the only one that can accept you for who you are, right?
Wah.
And I know you inside and out, and I know you'll always come back to me. And I'm like,
I hate that word.
and I
Only I had half your confidence.
I
right?
mean, the way that we get out of that relationship is when you stumble down to the hole, into deepest hole, and there's no way out. I think that's you have to hit rock bottom for you to
100%.
understand. No, like this is not right. I was not born
Tapi
to be like
kadang-kadang ada yang
this.
udah hit rock bottom.
Udah nggak
tapi
bisa
nggak
juga.
bisa keluar
Nggak
karena
bisa
mereka
juga.
udah terbiasa di gaslight kan, Kay?
Because
Yes.
you don't realize
They
it.
get fueled
their
by it.
normal.
Yeah.
But I mean, people would have their own threshold. I mean,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
would have.
Yeah.
Because
I
it's
had mine.
between living and dying, I think, right? I mean, there's a point where we see a lot of people right now would like to kill themselves, or, suicidal rate is really, peak high right now.
Or bahkan dibunuh sama pasangannya.
Yes. So then you have to be aware, right? You have to reflect in yourself. Like, how do you value your life? Especially if you already have children. I mean, okay,
Yeah,
quote
that's
unquote,
a
if
lot.
you're already in a marriage.
That's
How
trickier.
do you value yourself? How do you value your kids?
I mean, right, like how do you think these, I guess to an extent maybe trauma, but more so experiences that has shaped you to be who you are now? Like, for example, Kai, I'm going to go to you because I feel like I can relate in this, and I'll get to my story in a little bit. From a
I was
romantic
gonna ask,
relationship
yeah, what about you?
perspective.
Don't run away, KB.
No, I'm saving my story
There's a
for
reason why you're
last
hosting this
'cause,
one.
Attachment
I
style
feel like
avoidance.
I'll definitely take the cake for this one. How do you feel? Like, you've been single for 9 years before you got married to your husband, and you've gone through all those relationship ups and downs and traumas and toxic ones. How did it make you a stronger of a woman to prepare you for the wife for your husband?
actually, I think the most important part was to find yourself again. And that was the most difficult thing after having gone through a really, really bad toxic relationship, is that you've come to a point where you question every single thing that you do because your self-worth was completely shattered.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like your self-worth is like I grew up a confident girl doing all these things and so proud of all of my achievements. And, you know, I've worked very hard. And I was in uni at the time, right? And it's gotten to a point where, you know what? Why am I questioning myself? And I wanted to add, how does one actually realize they're in rock bottom? I think I wouldn't have realized I already hit rock bottom if I didn't have people who have my best interest at heart around me. So if it weren't for my friends telling me like, look, Kai, your energy is completely different. You lost the fire and spark in your eyes. You're not as ambitious as you used to be. You're not gutsy anymore.
Right.
You're just alone and like it's very isolated. Like that's what toxic people do to you. They want to isolate you. That's
Right.
that's what
They
they
can
do.
own you.
Exactly. So if people around me didn't make me realize, I wouldn't have realized.
But they have been saying this to you, right? I mean, they've spoken to you about it before. You were rock bottom, I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
As friends, as your inner circle
Yes.
would like tell
But
you
then-
like he would not be good enough for you and not.
Yeah, but then one friend actually, a conversation with my friend actually struck me when she said, because I think she was there and she noticed that when I heard the ping on my phone, that my face changed.
Yeah.
I was like, she knew, Kai, this is not healthy. Like, I really need to tell you this because you are supposed to be happy when you receive a text from somebody you love. You're not supposed to be anxious, you know?
Yeah,
And
that's when you know.
I really, and you know, how it's made me grown is it's reconnected me to myself much stronger.
Exactly like that.
Right?
Exactly like that, Shanaz. Yeah.
Yeah. And it, you know, it gave me a lot of criterias. I understand red
course.
flags because trauma responses are both physical now, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I tell you, that's why it's like when I see two people, even they're just friends and they're communicating in this toxic frequency, and I was like, because I know what it's like, you know, I know what kind of conversations lead that way, what kind of words lead that way, gitu kan. Jadi kayak, I think it just made me a much more experienced person.
So how did you break it though? Did that person accept it?
Yeah, like
She got sick.
Well, no, I got sick after,
Okay.
but there was like accumulation. But then it was a long distance relationship.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's even worse, and I can testify to that.
Yeah.
Dia abusive dari jarak sejauh itu.
Iya, dari jarak sejauh itu. Dan waktu itu ketemunya tuh we met for like, so we met by accident.
Is he Professor X?
Yeah.
No, it's FaceTime that does that to you loh. Kayak,
Oh,
gue
yeah.
tuh sampai kayak that's why when you were in that relationship, I was like, girl, I relate because I was like on
8 hours
FaceTime
FaceTime. I
when
had
I was
no
asleep
life.
because he would get so upset when I wasn't on FaceTime, and I was like, what am I doing? And there was a point where I got so tired, and in class I started speaking in 2 different languages without noticing.
Oh my
And I
God.
was like, what the hell is wrong with me? You know?
Can't function.
And that's when I realized that really, is everyone right that this is not right? Because I think what I needed to learn was there are some people who are more susceptible
Yep.
to being victims of, you know.
Apalagi perempuan. Karena
Iya.
perempuan itu kan posisinya di society ya, sayangnya kita tuh masih nomor 2 atau nomor kesekian gitu. Jadi kan kita harus bekerja lebih keras, harus people pleasingnya tuh lebih besar dibandingkan laki-laki. Ya pasti ada yang tidak setuju. Oh enggak, laki-laki juga ada yang people pleasing, I'm sure. Tapi ya karena kita di posisi itu, jadi kalau misalnya masuk dalam hubungan yang toksik itu kayak lebih lama nyadarnya.
Right.
Banget,
Yeah.
Dan juga cenderungan gini loh, kayak gue gak pernah ngira ya gue akan ada di posisi itu karena I'm such a strong woman gitu. I have all these principles, I have idealism gitu. Tapi ternyata yes, aku ada di situ gitu kan. Dan the realization juga tidak datang tiba-tiba, realizationnya itu kayak datang sebagai proses yang lama banget untuk lo sadari. Dan ketika lo sadar kayak oh my god banyak banget ternyata yang salah ketika lo udah punya value yang sangat tinggi untuk diri lo sendiri dan lo akhirnya berkembang dan mencintai diri lo apa adanya. Berarti kayak abis itu lo balik niat treatment yang lo dikasih sama orang ini kayak
I know.
Yeah, I know, right?
You start cursing yourself for being so damn stupid. you know?
yeah at that
Calm
time,
down, baby.
Okay, now we need
It's
to hear your
alright.
story.
Yes,
Gimana,
yes.
Katie?
Yes. I think the realization for me was just being so exhausted. Like you, Kai, I don't think I spoke 2 languages when I woke up, but it was probably like spilling coffee all over myself. I was just like, oh, this
And a lot of mimosa.
and a lot of mimosa
I know.
at 9
I was
a.m.
there.
on a
Alright.
Monday. It's not okay. Yes. So you were there. That's probably why she's actually sitting right next to me. Emotional support, as she's always been.
Jadi apa yang terjadi?
So I was seeing this guy for about a year and a half
Tell
to 2
them.
years.
From where? The name of the city.
From Jupiter, Florida.
Ah.
wow I thought it was a planet.
Never knew that there was
might
a
as well
Jupiter.
be a planet at this point. So I don't know where was your guy at the time, Kai? Germany? Okay, this was Florida. I think it's a little further. Yeah.
Like,
I don't know how he messed up my life from like 14,000 miles away, but it happened. Right? It's actually, I think it's the same as how what Kai was saying. It's just gaslighting, manipulative. I think at the time, because I was hustling, I was busy working, that I found comfort in long distance relationships because it was convenient for me. It's like I don't actually have to spend time with the person. I'll allocate like few hours of every day talking to him on FaceTime, but I could do my thing, busy, but I still have someone. It's great. But so it actually went pretty well. And I think to this day, I'm like, was it all alive for the moments that it was actually nice, for the first year or so that it was actually great. Like he was a great person or so I thought. And I actually was very happy in that relationship. And so one day I was actually we were broadcasting early in the morning and I got a call from him, which is very unusual because he knows that I'm working and he doesn't usually just FaceTime out of the blue. And obviously I couldn't pick up because we were on live TV. And so during our break, I ran outside and called him back and no answer. After that, he was gone. He was MIA for like 2 days.
Ooh, silent treatment.
Not a sound.
Gaslighters love that.
Yes, Kai. But like the weird thing is we weren't like arguing. There was no problem, no nothing. So I was very confused. And that's when I was like, Carol, we're going to get mimosas at 9 a.m.
Nice. Oh, you know what?
Yes.
I wonder if that person in Jupiter, Florida, read this book by Robert Greene, The Art of Seduction. Because it's like very Machiavellian. It's like there are several tricks that you do to basically,
I read that
Yeah,
book.
push and pull.
You read that book? Yeah.
I'm going to judge you. No,
Yeah.
I read that book too.
Yeah.
For research.
I need to know.
You have to share though why that call, because I think that's one of the most important one. Because that call wasn't by him.
Yes.
That call wasn't
So
by him.
there's context there. So
Yes.
before this call happened, he made plans to come visit Jakarta. And,
When I said no.
and I was like, oh my gosh, super great. You can finally see, my hometown, all that. And then about a week or two before he was meant to come out, he's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I can't get time off work because he's a surgeon. And at the time, I just thought, yeah, okay, makes sense. People are dying. He's literally helping dying people. Like, how can I be mad at
He's a superhero.
He's a superhero saving lives. I was like, you know what? That's so fine.
Oh.
And then I think it was 3 months from when he was meant to come. I had a trip planned with my mom to LA. And I was like, look, I'm going to California. The least you can do is meet me in California since you can't come here. He's like, okay, great, not a problem. I was like, okay, done. And so this phone call happened. And for 2 days when he was MIA, I was losing my mind because I thought, oh my goodness, like this relationship, bless you, that I thought was going so well is now crumbling down the ground without any explanation. What the hell is going on? 2 days later, he did reach out and he said, I'm so sorry, I have to explain something to you.
That I'm married.
Luckily, it wasn't that bad, but I would say probably just almost. I feel like that's the next sort of level of it. He's like, oh, I have this ex whom I dated for, this was his phrase, by the way. I have this ex whom I dated for 9 years. We've broken up, but we're still living together.
We're roomies.
Because she just needs help. Like, she can't be on her own 2 feet. So I can't just throw her out. You know, I just have to help her.
Living buddies.
Living buddies.
Yes.
Housemates. And obviously my first reaction was still like, what the hell? I mean, like, anyone would be, right? And then the thing is with, you know, people who are so manipulating and who loves to gaslight you, it's just like, no, this is like done. Like, you have to understand from my perspective, like I'm trying to be a helpful friend to her. Like, you know, this is nothing. Like, when you come.
I get in my head, in my mouth, I almost want to say something rude, but I'm not gonna.
Please do.
Friend.
Yeah.
You know what?
Yep.
You know what? I think he was gaslighted by her.
And then he gaslighted
exactly.
me.
Oh my God.
It's a gaslightception.
It gets better. It gets better.
Oh no.
Okay.
So I flew to California with my mother. He flew to California, and he was very sweet. He picked us up from the airport. We went to brunch, and I was like, okay, you know, this is the pull. Like, we're seeing progress here. This is great. And then that night, after I landed, we went on a date to Santa Monica.
Oh, I remember this
Santa Monica Boulevard.
Right? I was like,
love
yes,
Santa
living my LA dream again after like the pandemic.
I remember this
Love
story.
it. And then obviously, me being me, I was taking content of everything, not him specifically, but there was this one video that I took at the Santa Monica Pier of like everything, and he was just there, like his back at a distance. The next morning, I got a text
From the ex-girlfriend / roomie.
from the ex-girlfriend. You know what? Can I read it out?
Yeah.
I'm gonna look for it. I am gonna look for it. Just give me a second.
Okay, by the way, we call her Abu from Aladdin.
We do call her Abu. I almost
She has a
forgot
nickname, and
about
if you're
that.
listening, Abu,
Abu.
you're gonna be famous.
It's like a boo.
I don't know why we name her Abu.
I think that was you because you were like, you know what? She reminds me of the monkey from Aladdin. We're gonna
that's
call
Was it
her.
the
Abu.
picture? Oh, damn.
Oh,
Yeah.
ouch.
My gosh.
But you know, yeah. I mean,
I remember
after
that you
everything,
sent him a cupcake. It was not even his
Ew.
birthday.
I barely remember.
I know.
Okay, I see the text.
Oh my
I see the text. Read it out.
Wrong.
Y'all ready?
Yes.
Hi there. I didn't want to reach out, but I am honestly heartbroken that my boyfriend of 8 years has been cheating on me behind my back. And I was just wondering how long you guys have been having this relationship for.
With an emoji.
With a sad emoji.
Oh, well, I mean,
And
you know, actually, the real a-hole.
I don't
in
hate
this-
her
in this
because it's
thing
not
is
her
the
fault.
Guy.
It's not her
The
fault.
guy.
it's not her fault at all. If anything, I'm
Where did
so
you meet the
heartbroken
guy?
for her. So backtrack to when I was 14. Growing up, I would spend every summer in California. And there was this one summer, we had a 4th of July barbecue with our family friends' neighbor who had their family over from Florida.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
And that was where we met. And then we reconnected. And then pandemic, man, I don't know about relationships that
Talking
happen
about
over
the
the
boy or
pandemic.
talking about the girl?
The boy and how I met.
Through
We met
social media.
like
no?
10 years ago.
Right,
No.
but you went back. I mean, you kind of like
Yes,
rekindled the
so we
relationship.
rekindled our relationship over Facebook.
There you go.
You know, the
Okay.
internet is dangerous. I feel
He
you.
said happy
Relationship.
birthday to me. It was the pandemic. I had nothing better to do.
And he has blue eyes. I mean, I must say.
He does have blue eyes.
Yeah.
But whatever. I like
Yeah.
brown eyes better.
Still, he's an
Yeah.
a-hole.
I mean,
Yeah.
I
yes.
mean, he was like two timing.
Literally.
Well, I mean, the
Both
thing
of
is, the woman becomes aggressive also to you by the end, almost the end of that relationship.
she
Yeah.
texted my mother.
Yeah. So in a way,
Like, come
like,
on. Like, girl, I feel sorry
and then
for you.
his
Come
friends
on.
already told you, right, that
Oh,
they're done.
gosh.
You know,
Yeah,
I mean,
so-
she's also a very toxic person. She's not a good person for him.
You're
yeah.
walking me through
So, like, they're
The
both-
memory that I've...
I know.
permanently deleted from my head. But yes, coming it back on the archives. When he was in LA, he introduced me to his friends, which actually I had a lot of fun hanging out with. So when he left to sort that out, because then she started going crazy. She'd be
course.
calling him 8 times a day, saying things like, if you don't come back right now, I'm going to hurt myself. And
That is
That
a
is
toxic.
toxic. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that is
toxic.
sick. And then I
Yeah,
got
yeah, yeah.
dragged
That is drama.
Yeah.
into this
Yeah, that's
toxicity.
toxic
Yes.
drama.
Ew.
And I did not stop there. I'm one ambitious girl.
That's
I
what you
was
do for
just
love.
like stupid, but
You know,
yes.
I think toxic relationships are bucin people are so prone to toxic relationship. Naive bucin people.
Tapi emang bener sih,
Iya.
bener banget. Temanku tuh ada yang bucin
Karena gue harus
banget.
mengakui gue cukup bucin.
Iya kan?
Me too.
Yang bucin tuh kadang-kadang saking bucinnya kayak pakai kacamata kuda gitu loh.
Bener.
Bukan salah atau benar ya, malah kasihan. Karena
Betul.
memang dianya begitu gitu. Kalau misalnya dia sekali jatuh cinta tuh wah semua hatinya tuh sampai jeroan semuanya dikasih
Iya.
gitu loh.
No, and I think it was, I don't know what it was, but for me it was the realization, was I not loved properly when I was younger? Or why am I
itu-
looking gitu loh.
Itu karena lo aware kan, tapi maksudnya kayak
Nah, itu
banyak-
setelah udah
setelah
terjadi,
sudah
ya,
kelar
gue baru
ya.
mikir gitu kan.
Biasanya
Tapi
tuh
enggak sih Beb. Maksudnya I
It can
felt
happen to
that-
anybody kali ya.
it can happen to
Yeah.
anybody.
Maksudnya kalau love properly or not properly, kalau misalnya emang, karena misalnya ya nggak love properly atau waktu kecil tidak dicintai secara semestinya gitu ya sama orang tua, itu juga bisa menciptakan masalah kepercayaan, trust problem. Malah jadi nggak bucin, malah jadi super hati-hati sampai akhirnya
'Cause you
avoidant
don't want-
attachment
Other
gitu.
extreme
Iya,
ya.
jadi kayak udah
Too logical.
nggak usah gitu. Jadi bisa
Iya
dua-duanya.
So how did you
Yeah.
finally get out of it?
Well, that's the thing, right? Because I look back at it and I'm like, how did I let myself go through all that?
Yeah.
And to what you said, Kai, it could be maybe because we were in love as a child, perhaps. But then I looked at it, I'm like, I think if anything, I got too much love from my parents. It was like
You're blessed.
suffocating.
Yes,
Honestly. I love you,
yeah,
mom and
you're
dad. But
I guess that's my problem too.
you know, and then you
Yeah.
have so much love to give.
Yeah. And you forgot to take.
Yes. You forget to take that. It's like, oh, okay, but I'll give you more. I'll give
Iya,
you more.
dan itu kayaknya satu hal yang kemarin juga temen gue baru kayak curhat tentang relationshipnya dia yang berantakan, yang kacau banget, dan dia nanya gitu, terus ya lo dan sekarang lo memutuskan untuk single dan what did you learn gitu kan kemarin ini gitu. Terus akhirnya gue ngomong gini, gue akhirnya tahu ya dari sekian banyak buku yang gue baca dan sekian banyak terapi yang gue lakukan gitu. Akhirnya gue tahu kalau relationship itu emang about give and take kan.
Right.
Kita kasih terus, sebagai perempuan tuh kita tuh kayak sering banget lebih peduli ngasih ya kan. Tapi again, bukannya membuat relationship seakan transaksional. Relationship ke siapapun ya, baik itu dengan teman atau apapun, it's about give and take gitu. Tapi itu yang kita lupa. Nah, ketika itu yang kita udah ngasih terus-terusan dan kita lupa untuk nerima, kita juga jadi enabler untuk si
Betul,
toxicity yang ada di situ kan gitu.
Because
Jadi
that's where we fall into the trap.
yes.
If that person is a narcissist.
Itu
narcissistic
dia
person gitu.
dinamikanya selalu begitu gitu. Jadi gimana sih caranya untuk tahu? Caranya untuk tahu dan kita paham untuk keluar dari situ adalah untuk selalu mempertanyakan what's in it for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's in it for me? Kayak kalau kita temenan nih, kita ketemu gitu arisan atau apa,
What's in it for
what's in it for me? Energi wise gue dapet nggak gitu?
Yes,
Iya kan?
ya, kita lebih ngomongin energi.
Iya, energi wise kita dapat nggak nih? Kita merasa disayangi nggak gitu? Ketika kita nggak ngerasa kita dapetin sesuatu,
Yeah.
get out.
Yeah.
I don't think I, define myself as a bucin at all. I think definitely.
You're not. You're not.
Baby.
No, you're not.
Definitely not.
And you.
The whole time I was switching. Carol's eyes rolled more than any roller I've ever seen.
I know. It's like, but I know myself that why we stick to a relationship that maybe that is not healthy. I think because we kind of give that person time to change. Like we felt that we can help that person to change.
Tapi kalau dia nggak mau berubah juga
fixer.
susah, Ke.
Betul.
Savior
Tapi sometimes
syndrome.
exactly.
That's so
but
true.
that again, we have to go rock bottom for us to understand like this is not happening, right?
Yeah, they
but
can't be
you know,
helped.
we don't see the red flags. We're like, okay, we give him another chance, once,
Yep.
twice, three,
Yep.
thrice until like how many times? Until like we, at the end of the day, you're like, this is not happening. And if I'm going through this, like for me, I always get linked to like not my boyfriend per se, but to the family.
Yeah.
I'm always attached to men that has like good family values and between the mother and the father because that's probably something that I wanted in life, right? Not necessarily I love the guy so much that I'm gonna die for you, like, oh, I love you so much. No. Like I can live without you, but I need your parents. You know? Can you just get it out?
I would die for you.
Ya, jadi kita ada 3 bucin di sini gitu ya. Dan 2 non bucin.
Tapi gue tuh jadi belajar satu hal yang this very tough lesson for me to learn. It's one, it's what's in it for me, and two, it's also like apa ya, gimana ya, kayak kalau gue ketemu seseorang tuh jadi gue cari dia mau nggak ngasih ke gue, ngerti nggak? Because it's not just what's in it for me, tapi kalau dia ngasihnya nggak genuine dan willing, ya kan?
Iya,
It's kadang-kadang
Bener.
kayak ini forced gitu kan. Dan itu tuh dulu gue nggak ngerti itu gitu.
bener.
For some reason I didn't understand that.
Katanya cinta, kalau cinta itu harus diminta, berarti cinta itu memang bukan buat Anda. Ya sudah, bukan buat kita.
I remember my mom would say this, when you finally would like to settle down with someone, find someone that loves you more than you love that person. Why?
Generasi mak kita banget.
Yes.
My mother said the same
My
thing.
mother said the same thing.
Because
but I don't-
us women, our love will grow, right? Our love will definitely grow, especially when we have our children and whatnot. That the child of ours is half of our husband and half of our significant other. And that is quite true because when you're in a relationship with someone that you need to, every day, every second for you to kind of like grab him and to kind of like
fight for your
fight
love.
for him and like, no, you're like, no, I love you so much. You should love me back the way it has to reciprocate. No, because like for them, their love is always there. So when you meet with someone that you need to kind of like run after,
No.
Don't.
Yeah, harsh truth.
Don't.
Love
Yeah.
fades too. Love
Yeah.
fades. Nih.
Harus di-maintain. Kalau aku mungkin, kalau aku lebih, ya sih memang ada pemikiran seperti itu di generasi ibu kita ya. Waktu aku kecil sih ketika ibu ngomong gitu aku kayak oh ya oke mam. Karena pada saat itu memang kondisi dia ekstrim ya. Karena dia sangat tidak dicintai oleh my dad. So I know where she came from. Tapi kalau sekarang setelah aku pikir sebetulnya I like it when it sort of like completes each other. Jadi maksudnya kadang ada momen-momen di mana kita tuh memberikan kasih sayang memang yang terasa lebih mungkin karena pasangan kita itu sedang membutuhkan kasih sayang itu secara lebih. Tapi harapannya memang idealnya pasangan juga menyadari aware ketika kita sedang membutuhkan cinta lebih dari dia. Jadi selalu begini gitu loh. Jadi selalu saling melengkapi. Karena bayangin kalau misalnya pasangan kita merasa bahwa oh ya pasangan gue tuh sebelah cintanya sama gue tuh cuma 75%. Sementara gue tuh udah 99%. Kan kasihan juga ya. Aku mikirnya kasihan juga gitu loh. If we don't want to be in that position, then ideally our partner juga tidak in that position. Karena ketimpangan itu yang biasanya menimbulkan tensi atau resentment. Iya kan. Jadi kalau menurutku aku sukanya begini. Oke, kadang-kadang you're more loving to me, kadang-kadang I'm more loving to you. Constantly like
Finding
this.
the balance, right?
Exactly. Because why am I thinking like this? You said love fades. Memang betul. Maksudnya rasa cinta itu rasa cinta antara dua orang itu tidak akan pernah semeledak-ledak ketika wah di tahun pertama atau tahun kedua. Nggak ada di dunia ini pasangan yang seperti itu. Pasti akan ada fase di mana dia turun tapi kemudian naik lagi. Nah ketika ada cinta yang seperti ini, seimbang ya antara keduanya selalu melengkapi. Maintenance cinta antara keduanya itu bisa lebih berjalan. At least that's what I believe ya. At least that's what I believe.
because effort takes both ways. Gitu.
Betul kan?
And
Takes two to tango.
yeah, and I think the reason why I was single for 9 years is I learned that I didn't want to just give. Kayak gue ngerti banget waktu Ines was like fresh out of this relationship and she was like setting hard criteria for herself. And she needs to do that because you know in the beginning you need to do that until you're able to look at balance, then you can see it from a softer point gitu.
Yeah,
and it took me a couple of years to be honest gitu.
Iya, dan kayaknya juga harus gini loh, kita harus punya mindset masuk ke dalam relationship kalau kita juga harus bisa keluar dari situ.
Iya.
Kayak kita nggak perlu takut untuk meninggalkan orang itu kalau dia ngasih kita less than what we wanted gitu. Jadi kayak the feeling of gue takut ditinggalin itu harus dihilangkan sebenarnya, harus ditinggalkan oleh kita gitu. Kita nggak perlu takut ditinggalkan. Kalau if it doesn't work then
It doesn't work.
ya udah it doesn't work gitu. Tapi kan kita punya tendensi untuk, apalagi gue ya, tendensi untuk oke, relationship itu hard work. Akhirnya gue sampai di situ gitu. Padahal
mengorbankan diri.
semuanya. Padahal when it's not right, gue harusnya udah enggak gitu. Kalau gue punya standar, that's why kayaknya buat perempuan emang harus punya standar yang tinggi.
Bahkan ada satu prinsip yang salah satu sahabat perempuanku bagi gitu ya tentang hubungan ya, apakah itu hubungan pernikahan atau hubungan komitmen yang dalam waktu jangka lama. Dia bilang gini, aku sama pasanganku itu masuk ke hubungan ini bukan dengan mindset bahwa kita akan selamanya bersama. Kita akan selamanya bersama ya, karena kan kita udah menikah nih, jadi udah pasti selamanya bersama. Menurut dia enggak, aku enggak punya perjanjian itu sama suamiku. Perjanjianku dengan suamiku adalah gini, kita akan selalu berusaha untuk bersama. So there is the effort, ada usahanya selalu untuk fine tuning, communicating. Karena kan dua orang ini akan berubah gitu. Dengan bertambahnya umur kita tuh sebagai individu akan berubah dan berkembang. Permasalahan ketika dua orang itu sudah tidak lagi bersama, karena yang terjadi adalah they grow apart.
Yes.
And the fine tuning does not exist. So what my friend is doing with the husband is like, yaudah kita punya sistem, kita selalu fine tune ya. Kita selalu communicate, apapun yang terjadi kita selalu communicate.
Bener.
The effort, the bata itu batu batanya itu harus selalu dibangun. Jangan yang gue kagak ada effort, lu kagak ada effort, tapi kita harus bersama karena
Gak
kita
ada yang
menikah.
ototun gitu ya.
Iya.
But you should talk to my husband about that. You know what? Because he said what? Even if I die first, I will haunt you in my graves if you have another husband. That is what is happening. So
But he loves you that much.
no, that's like till death do us apart and afterlife.
Eca, kamu cinta banget sama Kay ya, gemes.
I mean, we've shared so much stories on toxic relationship and how to deal with them. But for you guys, what and how important is a safety space? And what is your safety space when you went through that toxic relationship? Mine would be mimosas at 9 a.m. with Carol.
I'd join ya.
That's quite safe.
Kayaknya
Very safe.
Not for you good. But yeah.
Tapi when it comes to a safety, kayak lo ngomongin safe space ya, safe space juga bingung ya, apalagi kalau kita bicara mengenai toxic marriage gitu. Safe space seperti apa sih keluarga lo emang bakal bilang, oke, just leave him gitu. Kalau itu bukan KDRT, mereka nggak akan tahu kalau itu adalah hubungan yang toxic gitu kan. Itu kan bukan sesuatu yang keluar di fisik gitu.
KDRT juga kadang-kadang susah keluarnya, Nas.
Iya itu dia gitu. Tapi maksudnya safe space yang diberikan oleh keluarga juga kayaknya nggak guaranteed gitu loh buat gua ya. Akhirnya ya you create your own safe space buat gua sih. Ketika ya udah akhirnya gua nyampe di situ gitu. Nyampe di titik gua harus menyelamatkan diri gua karena gua nggak punya opsi lain. When I was in the relationship, I tried to kill myself. I banged my head di kamar mandi gitu. Karena gue ngerasa saat itu there's no other option. Because I'm a Christian, I felt like kayak vow yang udah gue sebut di depan altar, gue harus ngabisin sampai habis gitu. Sampai gue mati. Tapi pertanyaannya kan, apakah Tuhan mau gue mati? Enggak dong gitu kan. Jadi ya udah, I create my own safe space. Gue biarkan diri gue hancur, tapi at the same time gue tahu kalau gue harus build lagi diri gue gitu. Yang tidak ada yang bela-bela orang lain, create my own identity. Karena susah ya saat itu kan lo mikir identitas yang datang di diri lo tuh adalah identitas yang diberikan oleh orang ini gitu. Ketika dia mempertanyakan kayak this is not you gitu. Ini bukan kamu tuh gak kayak gini, ini adalah fase. Kamu habis nonton apa sih, kamu habis baca apa sih, kenapa kamu bisa ngerasa kayak gini? Enggak, kamu dari dulu gak kayak gini, kamu yang aku tahu tuh bukan kayak gini.
Karena dia nggak siap dengan perubahan kamu, dia tidak siap dengan kamu yang sudah bertumbuh gitu. Jadi dia mau tetap stick tuh, enggak Shanas yang aku kenal dulu ketika umur berapa? 16 tahun. Ya udah kamu di situ aja tetap, kamu nggak boleh bertumbuh.
Iya.
Nah itu berbahaya.
Iya, dan apa ya, kan kita tumbuh dan terbiasa dengan hal itu kan. Identitas yang diberikan oleh pasangan yang memang melekat sekian lama gitu. Jadi gue pun pribadi menyalahkan diri gue karena apa? Karena gue saat itu mikir, mungkin bener kali ya. Mungkin bener ini bukan gue. Mungkin bener ya dia bilang gue gila. Mungkin bener ya gue tuh tidak waras. Mungkin emang gue lagi enggak. Memang gue tuh bukan ibu yang baik. Memang gue bukan orang yang baik gitu. Jadi realisasi untuk no I'm good enough, I deserve better. Itu datangnya tuh tidak tiba-tiba. Datangnya tuh pelan gitu. Dan kalau kita tidak setia dan committed kepada diri kita untuk memberikan cinta yang lebih ke diri kita dibandingkan cinta ke orang lain, it will never happen.
How did you flourish to finally, even though it's step by step, that you know your self-value?
Eventually, yeah.
Because I have my son.
Oh, we love you, Shana.
Sorry. Tapi kalau ngomongin dia tuh kayak gue gak pernah ngerasa gue dicintain sama makhluk lain setulus itu sampai gue ngeliat dia gitu. Because I have my son, I have him. Dan dia ngeliat ke arah gue dan untuk bilang kayak I love you ibu and I want you to be happy. Itu kayak mungkin itu ya. When you discover this form of love yang apa ya, very pure. Gue gak boleh jatuh. Gue gak boleh berantakan. Because he needed me. He needs me. Until now gitu. Dan kayaknya itu sih yang bikin gue lebih kuat. Jadi bukan keluarga memang. Tapi dia gitu. Dia seorang. Karena kalau ngomongin soal nyokap atau kakak gitu. Sejauh mana mereka bisa bantu gue sih? Dibandingkan anak gue yang bisa ngelihat gue dengan very hopeful gitu. I love you ibu, I love you. Dan itu yang kayak buat gue, wow, that's the purest form of love.
Reason to live.
Yeah. And I think Ines is very strong because there are a lot of women out there that is still in a marriage or a toxic marriage because by saying that it's for the kids. And I wish they were strong enough to be like you, to see that this won't change. The situation won't change. You have to change this.
It was not easy.
Iya dong, tentu.
Not easy at all. Yeah, but
perpisahan itu selalu menyakitkan.
yeah, I'm here.
It's like a sling back, right? You have to go back just to go really far. And that's where you are. And
Sorry
we're
for
so
the
proud
tears.
Of you.
No.
Hey,
Tidak
safe
pernah
space.
harus nggak
Safe
boleh
space.
minta maaf
Yes.
untuk mengekspresikan perasaan yang sesungguhnya.
Yeah.
That is actually a very, very big green flag and red flag if that is not in a safe space. That's the biggest sign of a non-safe relationship, whatever it is. When we talk about safety, Ines is really right. It's very universal, right? It's knowing that what people believe to be toxic is always physical. What people don't see, people don't know. Gitu. Tapi sebenarnya what I learned the hard way is once you find these kinds of very toxic words that you hear that demean you, like really, really demean you. I got to a point where I heard it all the time, as I said before. I heard his voice in my head, which means, gila ya ini aja LDR loh. Kalau kita nanti bener jadi,
Yes.
what is that going to turn into? Domestic violence, like physical violence gitu kan? Karena itu udah seserem itu. And I've seen the dark side of him, of this person, as in like when he gets angry, how he deals with it, and it's very, you know, it was very scary at that time. Kalau gue realizationnya di situ bahwa kayak for a lot of people out there, you have to understand your body's cues, I think. Because your body is going to be the first, you know, the first element that tells you you are not in a safe place. And a woman's intuition is so powerful. And I read recently that the only problem with a woman's intuition is when she is not in a safe place, she is not able to be receptive to those cues. And I think that's why the hardest part is to build yourself back up. You gotta love yourself that hard that you only have extra love to give.
Ya apalagi kalau punya anak. Tadi kan Kay sempat ngangkat gitu. Nggak semua perempuan yang ada di dalam hubungan yang toksik gitu ya. Apakah pernikahan atau pacaran atau apa. Pernikahan dalam hal ini ya kalau punya anak gitu ya. Bisa keluar dari situ gitu. Dan kadang-kadang orang melihat bahwa ya banyak persepsi lah ya. Ada yang bilang kamu jangan berpisah sama pasanganmu. Seburuk apapun hubungan kamu, kasihan anakmu. Nah itu valid ya, valid. Tapi ada juga, dan ini dari pengalaman pribadi gitu ya. Dulu waktu aku umur 12 tuh aku berharap bahwa udahlah bapak sama ibu cerai aja. Karena anak umur 12 udah bisa melihat betapa toksiknya hubungan antara dua orang tua itu. Dan mereka tetap bersama hingga akhir, tapi itu rusak sekali hubungannya. Dan itu juga menghancurkan mental anaknya. Jadi kadang-kadang kita memang harus berpikir bahwa apakah lebih baik dua orang itu berpisah, tapi mental anak-anak kita itu tetap terjaga. Bisa melihat kedua orang tuanya co-parent dengan baik. Ataukah lebih baik melihat dua orang tua tetap bersama, tapi mental anak itu hancur. Dan suatu hari anak ini akan menjadi orang dewasa yang akan membangun pernikahan mereka sendiri. Contoh seperti apa yang mau kita berikan ke anak-anak kita? Karena anak-anak kita hanya bisa mengcopy orang tuanya. Dan itu betul. So ya ketika mungkin ada perempuan di luar sana yang merasa bahwa meskipun dia dipukuli habis segala macam, secara verbal hancur, secara tubuh hancur, dan masih memikirkan tapi nanti anak-anak gimana. Kita paham dilema mereka. Tapi di saat yang sama you have to really think. Karena yang aku takutkan adalah mati. Gitu loh. Hanya demi anak-anak. Tapi kita punya pasangan yang sangat violent. Keluarlah. Nggak usah. You have to get out. Karena kalau kamu mati, kamu tidak bisa menjadi ibu untuk anak-anakmu. Which is sad.
Yeah. And I think having your inner circle is also very important. Sometimes when we talk to our families, they want to see their grandchildren to have both the parents together, right? Especially it's more here, I think, prone as opposed to somewhere else. But I think having your friends, supporting you, not necessarily meddling in your relationship, because at the end of the day, it's between you, between the wife and the husband. And as friends, we do have our kind of like red line or our territorial space and the boundaries that we cannot step forward. But we are there for you. Like, never feel that you are alone. And if you think that I can't talk to my friends because quote unquote this is aib keluarga, or this is something that I can't share because I'm talking bad about my my children's father in a badly way, or my wife. There's also other spaces, like you can go see psychotherapists, right? Psychologists and whatnot. And even in like here in Indonesia, God bless, there's somewhat like a space and a hotline that you can call. One is Kementerian Pemberdayaan Perempuan dan Perlindungan Anak Sahabat Perempuan dan Anak, or known as SAPA 129, Komnas Perempuan atau Yayasan Puli. You can find them on Instagram.com/Yayasan Puli / well, you can find it there on the Instagram. That's already the handle that you can find for Yayasan Puli. So you're never alone. There are these community spaces that you can talk to. And sometimes when you talk to someone that you don't know, it makes it even better. Right?
Because they can't judge you.
Yeah. They don't know your past histories and whatnot. They can really know, like, they can really help you with a clean slate of history. And again, there are, a lot of like spaces and all of ways for you to help yourself. to get yourself rebound back to be stronger. Because at the end of the day, when you're in a toxic relationship, definitely it takes your life away from you bit by bit until you feel like I shouldn't live anymore because what kind of life is this, right?
It's like you're questioning yourself on one part is like, am I enough for this person? And the other end of the side of the coin is, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Right?
What am I
It's
doing?
like that
Life is short.
conflict.
Nah,
You-
life is short, bener.
You know, is this worth it? And am I worth it for this
Yeah.
person?
And remember, you can always start over.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's never too late.
Never too late.
But that's what people are afraid of, starting over, right? To start
rather
over because
stay
you already went
with
through
what
this
they've built.
relationship
Yeah.
for decades.
Right.
And then you have to find yourself again, especially I guess when you have kids, right? You're like, I'm already changing. I'm not a single person anymore. I have, someone to
Right.
me. And then when I meet with someone,
Yeah.
if that person is going to accept, probably they'll
Iya
accept me,
sih.
but accept the kids or not, right?
Iya sih, tapi
And-
selalu ada pencari barang antik.
Hey,
I mean,
I
in
married
serious-
into a blended family, guys.
Yeah.
Iya kan?
I
Yeah.
got married
Yes.
into a blended family.
Yes.
And I think it was for me.
Yeah, how was it, Kai?
Well, it was for me. That's like, okay, that's a topic for another day when it comes to the blended family. But I think it was like the most important part is actually a person who would give you a safe space, would validate. I think the most important is validate your being, emotions, and truly who you are and what you feel at every moment in time. Because the most dangerous part is when you don't have that validation in the relationship. And then even more dangerous, if the people around you cannot validate what you're feeling, then that is going to completely isolate you because no one is going to believe you that you're actually going through something. And I know that a lot of people are going through exactly that karena mereka tidak pernah merasakan divalidasi gitu loh. And
Jadi ya mereka tetap ada di situ.
copingnya tuh ya yang paling susah tuh itu ketika you said like safety net, safety space gitu kan. So it's like gimana caranya gitu kan kalau nggak ada yang percaya that something's actually happening karena nggak ada buktinya kan. If it's not physical, nggak ada buktinya. You don't have the bruises to show. You can't show how bruised your heart is.
Itu dia. Dan again, toxic relationship kan bukan berarti dianya adalah a bad guy gitu ya. It's a bad person. No, it's just
It's
the,
just toxic for you.
dynamic. Yeah, the dynamic
It's
of the
toxic
relationship.
Well, sometimes they are.
Yeah.
Sometimes they
Well, kalau udah sampai fisik, kalau menurut gue iya sih. If fisik is a completely different.
Karena udah hitam putih.
Karena itu udah hitam putih.
But the thing is, if you're not a toxic, if you're in a toxic relationship, I felt that you must be toxic because if you're not toxic, you would not dare to do that to someone else. It doesn't have to be physically, but verbally, mentally, right? I
emotionally,
mean,
yeah.
you don't have to like slap you.
You know,
Or
most
she
crazy
slapping
people don't
you,
know that
right?
they're
It
crazy.
goes both
Iya,
ways.
Iya,
right?
tapi kadang itu kitanya juga jadi enabler karena kita we love too hard and we love
Double-edged.
I mean, then you're just not mature enough then to see that someone loves
Exactly.
you that much, right? Where is your maturity level for you
Or-
to like
karena
not reciprocate?
kembali ya kalau misalnya kita bicara mengenai apa yang gue lewati, of course dia nggak punya karena dia tidak datang dari keluarga yang seperti keluarga gue. Pokoknya lo harus selalu mikir upbringing dia beda sama upbringing gue.
lagi-lagi kan kayak anak itu belajar dari apa
Orang
yang
tua.
orang tuanya lakukan.
Dia
Jadi
juga
kalau
nggak
Tapi
misalnya
you
orang
can cut
tuanya
the
toxic,
cycle. I mean,
Bisanya
you
kalau
can
dia
cut
punya
the cycle.
awareness.
Bisa.
Kalau dia punya
Right.
awareness berarti dia nggak
Yeah.
punya.
So like it ends with us.
Yes.
Movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But because you see, one of you to cut the cycle, one of you have to have that awareness first.
Yes.
Dan katanya memang the only way to move on from a toxic relationship is to cut it completely, at least for a while. And
That's why
what's
cold turkey,
difficult,
kan?
yeah, cold turkey. Yang paling sulit itu ketika lo memang harus co-parenting kayak Ines gitu misalnya ya. Tapi selain, I think the most important thing where I felt like was like because it was a relationship and it was not, there are no kids, no marriage gitu kan. Is that I was able I was able to completely distance myself from it gitu loh.
atau bahkan membuka jalan komunikasi. Karena salah satu relasi toksik terbesarku di dalam keluarga adalah dengan bapak. Dan Carol juga punya kira-kira background yang sama gitu ya, punya hubungan yang kompleks dengan bapaknya. At that time, it was so toxic, kita tidak punya relasi sama sekali. Aku benci sekali sama dia. sampai akhirnya kita membuka jalan komunikasi, di mana kita berkomunikasi secara jujur ya, sejujur-jujurnya, segamblang-gamblangnya. Bapak, ini yang kamu lakukan, ini membuat aku, ibu, kakak adik merasa seperti ini. Pada satu namanya bapak ya, di kultur timur marah dong, dia tersinggung gitu, egonya gitu sebagai bapak. Gak boleh anak ngomong kayak gini, ini anak kurang ajar. Tapi setelah seminggu kemudian, untungnya bapakku itu juga cukup fair. Dalam arti dia juga akhirnya mengakui bahwa oke, fair enough. Memang aku melakukan itu semua. Tapi di usia-usia senja ini kan aku sudah berusaha menjadi bapak yang lebih baik. Disitulah dimana hubungan yang tadinya toksik, ketika dua pihak ini mau membuka jalan komunikasi dan jalin komunikasi yang terbuka, jujur, progresif, itu bisa menjadi awal dari kita sama-sama sembuh. Problemnya kan tidak semua orang seperti itu, ya kan? Kadang-kadang ada yang tetap enggak, pokoknya egoku akan aku pertahankan sampai mati gitu. Itu ketika itu terjadi susah.
Ya
Kan?
My ex tuh kayak mikir gue gila sih. But that's okay, I am.
I like that.
Crazy for
I like
yourself.
that. Yes.
She's crazy about herself.
Jadi
As
sebetulnya
you should.
sebetulnya toxic relationship itu bisa mulai tidak menjadi toxic ketika dua orang itu mau membuka diri, mau berubah.
Tapi you're lucky kalau dua orang itu bisa membuka dan berubah ya. Karena gue melihat juga, sorry, it's my husband gitu ya, nggak bisa komunikasi itu dibuka.
Nggak apa-apa.
Nggak apa-apa, tapi
Karena timing.
but
Mungkin ketika bapakku itu umur 30, dia tidak akan paham.
Mungkin.
Pakai.
Tapi
Tapi karena bapakku udah umur 60, dia kayak udah, itu kan istilahnya udah beda gitu ya. Mindsetnya karena dia tahu mortalitas kita. Kita semua akan mati.
Correct.
Semakin kita tua, kita semakin dekat dengan kematian. Jadi dia semakin reflektif, mungkin juga semakin menjadi spiritual. Sehingga dia bisa mengakui, oke, egoku udah aku iniin. Now I'm ready to talk to you daughter. You know?
Amen.
Yeah,
That's right. That's right.
You
That's
feel
right.
you feel
I mean,
experience the same.
Oh no, have
Have
not
we
experienced that from
forgiven?
my father, but I mean, like, amen. If that happens
my,
to
my
Loretta's
question
father,
is, my question is, have we forgiven those toxic people?
Yes.
That has,
Iya.
yeah, kan?
because we learn from them,
Yeah.
right? We grow.
So that's it. Not everyone can come to a point di mana mereka tuh bisa bilang kayak, I don't hate them anymore, but you know mereka nggak cocok
But
aja.
it takes time.
Iya.
I have forgiven my ex, tapi gue belum bisa memaafkan diri gue yang membiarkan diri gue lama sekali untuk
Oh
release.
sayang, the first one you need to forgive is yourself
Yeah, I
first.
know,
darling.
tapi masih kayak ada, kenapa sih gitu? Kenapa sih masih ada?
Okay, regret sometimes is
It's
okay.
fresh.
Yeah, well.
Progress. So it takes
And
time.
it was like half of your life, by the way.
Iya.
Right?
Like
It was
mine
a
was like
short
16
period of
till
time.
34.
Well, I don't know which toxic.
30.
Yeah. But you know that we love you. And we're here.
Yes.
Every flaw, every pluses.
We love you so much.
Yes.
Cry, you can scream, you can wreck the studio having.
No, but Shahnaz,
Safe
you're
space.
one strong person.
We're so
one
proud of you.
strong
We're so
mama.
proud of you.
Yeah.
Oh, where's my tissue?
She can still manage to be funny.
Always.
I wish I were like her.
Yeah.
Wow, ladies, that's quite the talk that we just
Yeah.
had. Huh? Very, very deep and enlightening, but of course, still some jokes here and there. Thank you so much for sharing to us, to our viewers as well, and for all you ladies and gents out there who's watching us. This is a safe space. We'd love to hear your stories and in ways where we can help. And with that, we'd like to also remind you that if you're not comfortable talking to a friend or a family, you could even drop a comment anonymously and we'll see how we can help. And there's also hotlines that Caroline mentioned earlier, the Kementerian Pemberdayaan Perempuan dan Perlindungan Anak with their program of Sahabat Perempuan dan Anak, or SAPA, with a hotline of 129. There's also the Komnas Perempuan and Yayasan Pulih, and you can find them on Instagram at Yayasan Pulih. Once again, viewers, thank you so much for tuning with us, and we'll catch you on our next episode.
We love you.
We love you.
I know.
Yeah, but
Pas kali nangis di sini.
Gak apa-apa pecah telur.
Damn. We love you so much. Don't forget to
Like, subscribe,
comment
And share.